Have you ever seen a child scream and pout about their parents because they wanted a certain something in a store?
Yes, ma'am.
And they scream and pout because they want something, and the parents like wants them to be quiet because they're pouting for a toy they want, and so they end up buying it for them or getting whatever they want. That is called a spoiled child. And have you ever heard a teenager say, "Oh, I want a new phone, but I can't get one because they just bought me this one, but I gotta break it or something to get a new one, like an update on their phone."
Mm-hmm.
That's a spoiled child because their parent will end up giving it back to them. As a parent in this world, the job is to teach us how to succeed in this harsh world. From learning how to walk, run, skip, jump, talk, to take care of ourselves, and we kind of learn how to socialize with our parents first, and then they move you on to like high school or middle school, and you learn from there how to get your own friends and go outside your bubble. But if your parent ends up giving them whatever they want all the time, then they'll become entitled. So whenever they get older, they're going to be like, "Oh, well, my parents gave me this all the time, so I can just do this way or act that way." Most people do that whenever they're young. Their parents give them everything they want, and so they end up getting what they want in real life. They try to get what they want in real life, and it doesn't really work that way. So it's kind of enabling the child because you gave them everything as they want when they're little, so they expect everything they want when they're adults. Okay. My grandma and grandparents. Okay, my grandma and grandparents, they live in Beaumont. They had a farm that was 50 acres with a house sitting on 1 acre. They had 2 kids, and they had everything on that farm from chickens, ducks, pigs, whatever you want to call them, horses and dogs, and they had all of that.
Donkeys?
Yes, they're called cow dogs. Yes, they had all of those. Whenever my mom and them were growing up, my grandpa had an oil company. Like, he worked there, and he was really good with what he did, so we had like a gas tank at our house and everything. And so my mom would have her friends come over, get gas, be that little popular child. That was my mom. And then my uncle, he was kind of just like laid back, chill, and just, I don't care kind of person, very calm, just like my grandparent. But my grandma, she was a home economics teacher at the high school. And so she would see my mom everywhere, talking to all her friends and stuff with their new devices, new clothes, and everything. My grandma was a home economics teacher, so she knew how to make clothes and everything. So therefore, she knew like what all the students had. She saw them have their new devices, their new clothes, and then my mom wanted them too. Also, so my mom would manipulate my grandma to get everything she wanted because my grandma was like a pushover. She's like, "Okay, honey, of course, I'll get you that." But that's kind of what my grandma did. She pushed over and let them have like whatever she wanted because she felt bad that she didn't have it, because my mom would be like, "Well, I don't have this, and if I don't have this, then my friends will pick on me." But my grandma gave her everything. She even bought her first house. She bought her first 3 cars after she wrecked them to get a new one. It'd be like a little hit, a little bump, she needed a new car. So when my grandma passed away, my mom didn't know how to do anything. Like, she didn't know how to pay her bills because my grandma paid her bills as long as she went to college. She didn't know what was going on in the house because she didn't care. She didn't look at the paperwork when grandma was buying everything and paying the bills. So whenever we got older, whenever my grandma passed away, she didn't know how to take care of us. She was like, "I don't know what bills to pay. I don't know what's going on with this house we're living in." So she had to ask everybody for help. And therefore, that was a prime example of a spoiled child because she didn't know how to do anything. So we had to move with our dad, till she figured out how to get everything together. She didn't have a job, but she went to college for a lot of things, so she can keep the deal with my grandma. Even though she was done with what she was going for, she went again and again, so she wouldn't have to pay for anything. So, as a child, if you teach your child when they're young that you have to work for what you want, they'll grow up and be more successful. Now, I'm not saying don't spoil them. Just every once in a while, it's fine to spoil your child. Give them what they want. Make them a little happy. I'm not saying don't ever spoil your child. We all love a challenge here and there. Just don't enable us, because that makes some people entitled. That's a setup for failure in life. Thank you for being here. All right, how do you pause?